Now it is our pleasure to welcome today's keynote speaker, Girl Scout alum and Kansas State Representative for District 22 of Overland Park, Lindsay Vaughn. Representative Vaughn is the youngest woman serving in the Kansas legislature. She attended Blue Valley Northwest High School and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill before moving back home to start her career. She currently works for Literacy KC as their volunteer manager. Representative Vaughn is also active in her community, having previously served as a precinct committee woman, president of the Johnson County Young Democrats, and a member of the Mission Parks Recreation and Tree Commission. In 2018, Ms. Vaughn paused her career to work as a field organizer on U.S. Representative Sharice David's first campaign for Congress, after which she was inspired to run for office herself in 2020. She also worked as a part-time staff member in our council's outreach program. Please welcome Representative Lindsay Vaughn.
Thank you so much, Lizzie, for the kind introduction. Hello, Gold Award recipients and family members. As Lizzie mentioned, my name is Lindsay Vaughn. I serve as a state representative and am the youngest woman in Kansas to hold that honor. I'm excited to be here today, and I've really been looking forward to this opportunity ever since I was asked to speak. Like most people, speaking in front of large crowds does not usually make me very excited. But when I was reflecting on why this was, I realized it's because I see myself in all of you, just like I hope you see yourselves in me. Not too long ago, I was a Girl Scout in Troop 989. However, I only ever earned my Bronze Award, which makes all of you way more impressive than me. But seriously, I'm really blown away by all of your projects and especially the Medal of Honor recipients today. You guys are outstanding, and I'm really honored to be here speaking to you all. Like you, Girl Scouts gave me the following mission: to make the world a better place. When we learn that phrase, it's really inspiring and optimistic, but as we grow up, we learn just how big of a place the world is. I wasn't a president or influential person or the leader of a movement, so what could I really do to make that kind of a difference? I still had these questions by the time I crossed my final ceremonial bridge, but even then, I knew this mission is something that I would always carry with me. In 2016, I witnessed horrendous rhetoric on the national stage, and the outcome and discourse of that election went so against my values that I felt a magnetic pull to get involved and to do something. And I started to take up that charge to make the world a better place. At first, I felt paralyzed by those same questions. We were talking about a federal race, so what could I do, a single person who had never been politically active before, to make that kind of a difference? The answer I learned was showing up. In 2017, I showed up to the first Johnson County Young Democrats meeting and attended every meeting after that until eventually I was elected president of the organization. I showed up to meetings with the county party, which led me to become a precinct committee woman, showed up to city council meetings, which led me to join a city commission, where I learned all about the inner workings of municipal government. I showed up in support of now Representative Sharice Davids, who I had the honor of working for on her first campaign for Congress. And eventually, I started showing up for myself when I decided to run for a seat in the Kansas House. A lot of times, you won't know where showing up will lead you. But even if you don't know where a path leads, the most important step to take is always the first one. When I started my journey, I never in a million years thought I would run for office. But each time I showed up, I learned new skills and did new things outside of my comfort zone, and I started to take on greater leadership roles that increased my ability to make a positive change. So it is by showing up that I find myself here today. Throughout this journey, I learned 3 very important lessons about making the world a better place. The first, of course, is that caring deeply and showing up are always the primary ingredients for making a positive difference. Many of you likely also had similar experiences achieving your gold awards. When you decided to tackle an issue that you cared about, you may not have initially known how you would go about doing this or what shape your project would take. But by caring deeply about that issue and by showing up for your Gold Award project, you took the first step towards making a difference. And now all of you are here today, having completed your projects and having made a lasting difference in your communities. We all create our own paths through the individual decisions that we make by showing up. And it is through self-reflection and leadership that these paths lead us to our purpose. The second lesson I have learned about making the world a better place is that it starts with people and it starts at the local level. Because making the world a better place is first and foremost about helping our communities. When I got involved with politics, I didn't think my involvement would matter because I was one person. I quickly learned, though, that I was wrong because it wasn't just me. There were thousands of other people in Johnson County and hundreds of thousands of people across the state of Kansas who wanted to make a difference and who believed that politics should be founded on a two-way dialogue based on compassion and compromise. Together, we were able to organize, mobilize, get out the vote, and together, we were able to elect people who represented our values and make a pretty big difference. My favorite line in the Kansas Constitution reflects this sentiment perfectly. It says, "All political power is inherent in the people." We often think about political power as something that has the ability to create major social change, but what we don't always think about is that political power is just people power, and it is people power that has the ability to change the world. Making the world a better place also starts at the local level because that's where the decisions are made that affect us the most. There's often an inverse relationship with politics, where we pay the most attention to what's happening at the federal level, even though state and local governments have the greatest impact on our day-to-day lives. Our city councils and state legislatures fill our potholes, provide city services, create beautiful parks for us to enjoy, fund our public schools, and can expand access to healthcare services through programs like Medicaid. I have a feeling, though, that you all know the second lesson better than most. Because through your Gold Award projects, that is exactly what you've done. You've made the world a better place by identifying and addressing important issues in your communities at the local level. Like me, it's possible you still spend time wondering, though, where's the connection? Even if we make a difference in our communities, how does that translate to making the world a better place? How does it make a difference globally? My answer is this. Making the world a better place is like making a quilt. And this quilt is made up of millions of patches, and each of those patches represents a group of people making a difference in cities all across the world. When it's stitched together, this quilt becomes a movement, and these movements have the power to change the world. Without starting local, though, and without your patch, the quilt will never be complete. The final lesson I want to share is also my call to action for all of you here today. And that is, one of the best ways to make the world a better place is to have new voices at the table wherever decisions are being made. Now, more than ever before, it is imperative that we have young, inspired women in positions of power moving our communities forward. The moment I decided to run for office was during my first ever visit to our state capitol, when I had the opportunity to visit the House floor while they were in session. Being on the House floor for the first time is very exciting, and you get to see legislators at work. They're speaking at the well, advocating for bills, whipping votes, voting. It's living, breathing democracy in action. So, being the nerd that I am, the first time I ever got to experience this was a thrill. But this thrill was soon diminished when I listened to what was being said by the legislators and looked out and didn't really see any young women like myself on the floor. I realized that none of these legislators from either party really represented me or my perspective. And it was at that moment that I decided if no one in the room was going to speak up for me, I was going to speak for myself. And so I ran for office, and now I go to work on that very floor every day. But my voice is not enough, and I hold a similar view to that of the fabulous late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which is that there will only be enough women in the Kansas House of Representatives when all 125 members are women. There are still so many issues that directly impact all of us and that have so far prevented us from achieving our full equality, and that state and federal legislators have either made little progress on or that continue to be attacked. Issues like equal pay, childcare, reproductive health care, paid family and medical leave, LGBTQ rights, just to name a few. So my call to action is the following. Register to vote. Vote for people who represent your values and who will fight for equality, and then take your leadership to the next level. Join an advocacy group. Join a city commission. Run for office. Take on leadership opportunities that push you out of your comfort zone and push your communities forward. You will find success in your journey if you remember to show up for the issues that you care about, start local, and most importantly, take action. Because through Girl Scouts, you have learned everything you need to know to be an effective community leader. You've learned how to listen and engage with your neighbors from selling cookies, as well as how to be an entrepreneur. You've discovered the importance of being a lifelong learner from earning your badges and how to take meaningful action at the local level. You've figured out how to be self-reliant and resourceful from camping. And through your Gold Award projects, you have tackled issues that you care about and that drive lasting change in your communities. This takes drive, commitment, and passion. It takes a level of self-awareness, civic engagement, and leadership that very few people at your age possess. Through your Gold Award projects, you have already proven you are not just the leaders of tomorrow, you are the leaders of today. In Kansas, we say, ad astra per aspera, which means to the stars through difficulty. I interpret this as dream, then do, which is exactly what you all have done, and which I hope you all will continue to do. You are the dreamers and the doers who will create a better future for all of us, and who will continue to make the world a better place. Ad astra per aspera, and congratulations Gold Award recipients of 2020 and 2021.